Just give me 1 sec.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing tonight? All right. I need to be woken up a little bit because I haven't had sleep. I haven't had sleep for 2 days. So I need a little bit more noise. And Jean Yip, my colleague, MP for Scarborough H4, she hasn't had much sleep either. I'll tell you about that in a moment. So can you give us a little bit more of a wake-up call? How's everyone doing? All right. Now that's better. All right, now you got my attention. Thank you so much, Maggie and Aaron. Both of you are doing an amazing, amazing job as our MCs tonight. And they speak so well. Maybe one day they should run for office. Yeah? Who thinks they should run for office one day? They speak so well, and that's an important skill to have. But let me just start off by welcoming you all here tonight for this amazing celebration. 12 years since I first put my name forward on a ballot here in Scarborough North, first as your public school board trustee, and then 2 years ago as your Liberal MP candidate. And I gotta say, I need a round of applause, but I need one for all of you because it's because of you that I am here today, 12 years later, as your representative. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So, to tell you why I haven't had much sleep, Jean and myself and our colleagues in Parliament, we were just put through 2 days of filibustering by the opposition. What that means is that there were 260 different votes forced upon us, and you know what? Our government, our MPs, we want our budget to go through because we know that we are putting forward measures that are going to make it easier for Canadians to succeed, for middle-class Canadians to have a good life, for people like you in this room to enjoy the great country that we have. And that's why we were there, vote after vote after vote, meaning we couldn't get a chance to sleep. Now some of us put our heads down in between the votes, and that was all broadcast. It was quite an experience, I have to say, but I'm very glad that it ended a bit earlier because we were worried we weren't able to come tonight. But we're here, and we're happy to be here, and we got a lot to celebrate because this year, for the first time in our country's history, our government tabled a budget that was titled Equality and Growth. We tabled a budget that talked about ensuring that Canadians have a chance at real success. And that means that we look at our country and we say, how can we make it better? How can we make it better so that young people have the opportunities that previous generations had to get a good education, to get a good job, to build a life, and to be able to succeed. I can tell you, having been a former school board trustee, that so many young people graduate with such great skills and knowledge that they receive through their education, but they can't get a job. And I can tell you that so many of our seniors, our elders who've worked so hard their entire lives, who are looking forward to that retirement get to that age and realize they can't retire without worrying about their finances. I've been able to talk about how important it is for us to have equality in our budget because there continues to be people in our country, women who don't get the same economic opportunities as men. You know, in this budget, equality and growth, it was referenced, the word gender was referenced more times than ever before in a budget document. And when that was done, I heard people from the opposition make fun of the fact that our government was talking about gender equality and social equality for each and every Canadian. Guess what? Gender inequality is very real. Women in our country continue to make less than men in the same job, with the same level of skills and the same level of education. I know that as Canadians, we know that that is not right. Women continue to not get the same opportunities as men when it comes to promotion. We know that that is not right. And that is why our Prime Minister has said we're going to make sure that we inspire more women to step up in business, more women to step up in the community, and more women to step up in politics. I'm very proud to have one of our newest women MPs in the House, Jean Yip, Scarborough Aging Court. Jean, do you want to get up and just say a quick hi to everybody? Yeah. Thank you, Jean. Jean is our newest member of the Scarborough Caucus, and we're all very happy. She's doubled the number of women MPs. We have Salma Zahid in Scarborough, and now we have Jean Yip. And of course, we miss Arnold very much, but there's no better person to take over than Jean, and she's doing an amazing job. You know, this year we tabled a historic budget because we believe in pushing the boundaries to make Canada even more prosperous. I gotta tell you the good news. Because sometimes you pick up the newspaper and you see a lot of things and it doesn't look like good news. But let me tell you the facts. This year, we looked at the numbers. Since November 2015, our government has put in measures that have helped create jobs. In Canada, we have seen 600 new Canadian jobs created in our country. We saw in the second quarter of last year, Canada's GDP growth outpace all the G7 countries. And we saw this year our unemployment rate hit an all-time low, a 40-year low in Canada. And you all remember some of the rhetoric you heard 2 years ago when they said we're going to spend our country into debt. Guess what? We're investing in Canadians. When I talk to young people who are going to get their education, a lot of them can't afford it. They take out student loans to pay for their education. That's debt. It's an investment into their future. When Canadians buy their new house, they're typically getting a mortgage. Well, that's debt. Because they're investing in their future and they're investing in capital, and that is one of the best decisions they can make given the good house prices around the GTA. And guess what? As a country, we need to invest, and that is what we've done. We've invested in Canadians, and we've seen highest GDP growth among G7 countries, lowest unemployment rate in 40 years, 600,000 new jobs created in Canada. To me, that is success. And we're going to continue to invest because guess what? Guess what? We now know how important it is to invest because you create economic growth where you put money where it counts. Canada's GDP to debt ratio is now even lower than what it was when we took office. So that to me is good news, and that is the type of investments we need to make to create the type of prosperity we need in our country. But I have to say to all of you, none of that is possible without people. People believing in the role of government, people believing that good elected officials can make a positive difference in their community, in the decisions that government makes. And with that, I want to acknowledge, because as a federal government, we can't do it alone. But we have a number of people here tonight that are elected at different levels of government, and I want to acknowledge them for their wonderful contributions to the work that we do. We have in the room here today MPP, Deputy Speaker on the Ontario Legislature, my good friend and former trustee colleague. You saw that ESL success. It was Sue and I that worked on that together at the Toronto District School Board. MPP Sue Wong. We have a former MPP, and he represented this community for 2 decades. He was the Speaker of the Ontario Legislature. He was the first Black Canadian to be the Speaker of the Ontario Legislature. Someone I call a mentor, and someone who has been such an incredible support and guide, Dr. Alvin Curley. We have a regional councillor from Markham, but he's not just a regional councillor, he's also my cousin. And you know what they say, family first. Regional councillor from Markham, Jolie. We have another councillor from another city, and I know how hard she works because I see her everywhere. And one day we're going to get you up here, Sandra, to do some singing because I know how well you are, how good you are in singing. Sandra Yamarako. We also have a trustee. Well, we have another councillor, but I'm going to get to him in a moment. We have another trustee who is so passionate about education, and she's been here many times. She's no stranger. Carol Chan, York Region District School Board Trustee. And of course, last but certainly not least, we have our local city councillor. And Chin has taken up the brave torch because he is running to be our next Liberal MPP here in Scarborough North. And I gotta tell you, governments cannot make success on their own. They rely on other levels of government to work together. And I know that at the provincial level, there is such good policy to raise the minimum wage, to expand healthcare for young people and seniors, to ensure that youth have good access to post-secondary education. And I gotta tell you, when I first ran here in 2006, I remember running into Chin Lee constantly at the door because all we could do was door knock, 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 knock. And thankfully, with that hard work, with that determination, both of us were able to get elected. Chin Lee was our city councillor and is our city councillor for the past 10 years. And ladies and gentlemen, I can think of no better person to carry the torch here provincially than Chin Lee. You're going to hear from him a little bit later, but please give him a warm welcome. Chin Lee. I know that Alan Ho and Jack Heath are also joining us later, so we will make sure that we acknowledge them. But I also want to take a moment to acknowledge our patrons, because our patrons have been so incredibly supportive of my work, but more importantly, they are role models. They are role models in our community, and they give so much of their time to ensure that our communities are better places. So let me take a moment to acknowledge our patrons. Richard Zhu, Winnie Liao, Sophia's son. She's not here today, but I know her colleagues and friends are. Tony Luck. And as well Mr. Chung, who I know is not here as well tonight. But there are so many of you in this room, and I think if I had to name all of you, I would probably forget so many names and get it all wrong, that I won't do that. You know who you are. I know you don't do it to get your name out there. I know you do it because you believe in a better country and you believe in good representation at all levels of government. So let me just say to all of you a very big thank you. At our head table though, I do want to acknowledge two very special people, and that is Robert Yap, our founding president of the Scarborough North Liberal Riding Association. Robert. and Dr. Joseph Wong, who has also been an incredible mentor to me. He's the founder and chair of the Yihong Centers and Foundation. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I want to thank you personally, so I'm going to come around and I'm going to say hi to as many of you as I possibly can. But let me just say to you that I can't do my job without your amazing support. And throughout these 12 years, I've been very lucky. I've had a job where I get to meet some amazing people who do such great work in our communities. Whether you are working to help seniors or young people, whether you are fighting for social justice and equality, or ensuring that everyday Canadians have good opportunities, I want to thank all of you, because as I said, government cannot act alone. It's with all of your support and all of your work, and it's with you, with your generosity, that I'm here, I'm able to do the work that I do. So with all my heart, thank you very much to each and every one of you. I encourage you to get involved, and I have to say, with tonight, we are ready. We are ready for 2019, and it's because of you. So I should give you the last round of applause. Thank you, everybody. 谢谢大家，多谢大家，多謝大家，merci beaucoup, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. Took the midnight train going anywhere. Strangers waiting, right up and down the boulevard with shadows surging in the night. Streetlight, neon, living just a fire ocean, hiding somewhere in the Working hard to get my feet. Everybody wants a free. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Someone to sing the blues. All the moving never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting, up and down the boulevard with shadows surging in the night. Streetlight, living just a fire ocean, hiding silent.
Thank you so much for having us here. We're so honored to be here. And congratulations, Shaun, on this amazing milestone. Thank you. Sing along if you know the next part. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street life, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street